Working in an agile design team is a great way to pump out designs and iterate on ideas quickly. However, it can also be a very messy process. At some point, you might be looking at all your designs and you might be wondering, actually, which screens in Figma belong to which tickets in Jira, and what status are we in? Are the designs done yet? Are they still in to-do? Are they in review? Where are we in this whole process? So this is why I developed the Jira Ticket Sync plugin, which really allows you to bridge this gap between Jira and Figma. So how does it work? Well, let's dive into it. I have created this example project. I've used some designs from the Figma community. Thank you very much, Salman, for providing them. I will link the designs in the description below. So the first thing we have to do is obviously we have to start the plugin. So I'm just looking for Jira Ticket Sync. I start the plugin and you see two things happening pretty much at the same time. The first thing is that it creates this component with like a lot of variants, which are basically representing the tickets and the states they can be in. And then obviously the plugin itself has opened. First of all, we have to enter our email, which in my case is this one. We have to basically set a password, and the password that we use is actually an API token, which is basically just a bit secure way than your normal password. So basically you just say create this API token. It will lead you to the site where you can create your API token. You give it a name, Figma. I have already one, so I create another one. It creates a token and you can just copy that and paste it here in Figma. Just make sure that when you click this link and you create the API token, that you actually use the right account. If you have multiple Jira accounts, you might be creating it for the wrong email, so make sure you have the right account. Nice, so that's already done. That's the Jira authentication part. Then also we have to define the product settings. The first thing is we have to define the company name. So the domain name basically, so the part that is in front of the .atlassian.net. So in my case, my company is called Lukas Bittner. And then also we can add the project ID of the Figma project actually, which we're gonna do later. It's optional for now, so I'll actually show you later how this works and what's the benefit of adding this ID. So you can just click save and it checks if you entered the right email and the right API token and so on. And then you get to this view. That's basically the main view and the only view that you really have to use. So first thing, let's actually add one of our tickets. So I have created this example Jira board where we're creating this meditation app. And with every agile design team, you have a lot of tickets and they might be assigned to different people. And they all have different names. For example, design the onboarding flow, design the profile, design the login screen, create a prototype, and they all have these ideas. So now that we know the ticket ID, all we need to do is we need to enter it in here, press enter, and it creates this ticket for us, which has the title, the ID of the ticket, the person assigned, in this case no one is assigned, and the last date that the status of the ticket was changed. What we can also see, it has this a bit ugly gray, which basically means that the status of the ticket is not reflected in this main component. And that is something we can really easily adjust to our boards. So the default statuses that we have here are the design board statuses of Jira, which are to do, concepting, here we can see that, design, testing, and launch. But actually here I've created a different board with different statuses. I have to do, drafting, and review, approved, and created. So what we need to do is, for example, the first ticket, the design onboard flow, is in the status drafting. So what I'll just do is I'll take this status, which is design, and I rename it to drafting. What I can also do in status, I'll just add a new status. I'll basically duplicate it, add it, and call it drafting. And once that's done, I can basically create on the ticket and say update selected. It updates this ticket and it actually this time shows it in the correct status, which is drafting and in a blue color. In general, you can be really creative with how you design these tickets. I've done a very basic, very simple, But yeah, you can really like add a lot of things, group the things in there, change anything really. The only things you need to take care of is that you have an error state, so you can kind of see an error happened, and also a default state in case there is no ticket status existing, so it can default to this state. But yeah, apart from that, all you need to make sure is that you kind of don't change the name of each of these text elements. So date of status change, assignee, ticket title, and ticket ID. You don't change these, you don't delete them, you don't rename them. You need to keep them in there. You can group them, you can like change their position, whatever, but don't change the name. If you don't want to show any of this information, for example, if you don't want to show the assignee, you can always just hide it, and then it's gone and you won't see it anymore. Yeah, so it's really adjustable to your process, to your design board. So as we can see, we have this ticket now, and we can just put it above the designs that we've created for it. And for example, the login screen is a different ticket, so I'll have a look. Okay, design login is ticket 5, so I'll just enter 5 and wait for it to load, and then I have this new ticket. I can also see in review the status is not existing, so I'll add this status in review. And now I can again update this, and it will show in the correct state. And we can of course do this with all the other screens as well. What you can also do is now when you're like working already on the projects and you actually want to see, okay, these screens belong to this ticket, but what is actually the content of this ticket? You can just click on the link here, so it will create automatically a link to this ticket. So you just say open link, and it will redirect you to this ticket, and you can see I don't have any descriptions in the tickets, but if there would be any description, you can see all the information there. However, the only thing is at the moment you can't actually get from the ticket to Jira. So that's another thing that we need to set up now. How can we actually create a link in here that we can from the ticket get back to Figma? And that is where the project ID comes in. So I go back into the settings, and here, as you might remember, we have not filled up the project ID. So where do we get the project ID from? We click on share, we copy the link, and in this link we'll find the project ID. So as you can see here, it says file, then slash some number, and then slash again, then the project name. So the number between the slashes is the project ID. We'll copy that, we'll paste it in here, and now we can save the changes, and it's added, and we're good to go. So now actually this checkbox here is not disabled anymore, it's enabled, and we can turn it off or on. But if we leave it on, if we like add a new ticket to Figma, it will automatically link the designs to the ticket in Jira. I'll show you how to do that. So, okay, let's say we want to link this ticket where we've created this music player. So the music player is ticket 7, so we go here, say 7, create it. Nice, we put it above. And now we go on this ticket. And what we see here, it created this web link in this ticket, which is called design reference. And if we go now on this ticket, click there, it will redirect us back to the design. Nice, so now we're linked both ways. We can get from our designs to the ticket, and we can get from the tickets to the designs. That's perfect. Now the last thing, and probably one of the other really important and interesting features, is what happens when you change the ticket names or you change the statuses. And of course you kind of always want to be up to date with where are we in this whole design process. And that's super easy. Basically, what you can do is, let's say the onboarding flow is actually the last step, it's created. And also the music player is created. And actually the music player has been assigned a person, which is me in this case. So now this is changed, and it doesn't automatically update this in Figma. But if we now say update page or update all in document, so update page means it would just update all the tickets on this page. Update all in document would like go through the whole document and update all the tickets. It will make this update for us. And now it's all updated, And here you can also see that I am assigned to the ticket. You don't always need to actually start the Jira ticket from here. You can also, if you haven't selected anything, you can go via these quick access buttons. So you can say update tickets on page or update all tickets via here. Or if you click on one or more of the tickets specifically, you can scroll down, and also here you can see update selected tickets. So you don't have to always reopen the Jira ticket thing itself. You can just say update and we'll do the update for you. That's it. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have fun with this little plugin. If you have any feedback, I'm really happy to hear your feedback, and see you around.